I imagine that power would be best for these pre-events, but if you're not running a healer, Conduit Weaver is significantly tankier just because you end up taking Earth and you have the focus skills for defense. Oh, a quick Ecto gamble from Stick Waffles. Let's see how he does. I can't tell if he lost, but probably did okay there.
They are actually off here, waiting for the portal from both teams. Which one of them executes it a bit more cleanly? Again, there's a bit of a delay here, a bit of a 5-second delay-ish, 4 seconds. Mystic Waffles.
Oh, yeah. The Mesmer on Black Emperor actually gives a really long duration stealth to the Firebrand, who is doing the Mega Skip. He's going to JI to the boss. Yep. So Black Emperor looks like they're getting a... Okay, so the Black Emperor did a better skip, but Mystic Waffles actually made it to the boss faster.
Yeah.
Unless the delay is something I'm looking at.
We'll see how it is, because Black Emperor is just about getting to the champion now. It's actually roughly the same, like there's just a small second duration. Actually, Black Emperor already fighting the boss at 50, whereas, yeah, I guess they are ahead, more or less. They are ahead.
Black Emperor's ahead. Not by that much. So here we see, oh, the Weaver goes down. Oh, the Weaver's actually, oh, he almost full died. All those ads were hitting him at the same time, and he was just getting destroyed.
Especially a very light class like that is going to take a lot on you. A little unfortunate if you do go down here, because it is what it comes down to, clearing this champion the fastest. And if you can't clear it quick enough, this is where you kind of lose the fight in this fractal. See, Black Emperor actually just killed their champion on their end, so they're ready, and the portal comes through almost immediately. And look at the ad pull on that, like amazing ad pull. The cleave comes through. Look at all that damage.
Oh, that's really good, yeah. And you have the Epi as well on the Scourge to hit any of the ads that didn't get pulled, so it's like a guarantee to kill everything quickly. Oh, and they have a second portal on that room immediately, because the Black Emperor here is saving time by having their most mobile players do the running, while everyone else just, all the heavy damage classes, will just sit still and take portals. It's almost like doing dungeons with good players. Like, if you've ever done the dungeon run with like Left or Grimjack or whatever with the COF people, it's basically a press F on portal simulation, and you just do a bit of damage every time you take a portal. And Black Emperor is definitely showing that dungeon style gameplay here.
Yeah, and then Mystic Waffles just about clearing the ads here, but gonna be very slow here, as Black Emperor will be done with the fractal by the time they get to the boss. A little unfortunate.
The Conduit Weaver has actually swapped to Dagger here, so a little bit more damage. So the Dagger Conduit Weaver actually does significantly more damage than both Sword and Scepter if you pull it off. Although they are so far behind that I don't think any amount of damage is going to save them. Unless they somehow manage to sneak like the new Warrior leads back into here and just one-shot the boss.
300k damage hits, but maybe not. Maybe we'll see that in the next tournament. I'd like to see that in the next tournament. As they wait for the boss, Black Emperor is actually done here almost. They're already on the next phase of this fight, as he steals the jetpack from his poor buddy who just got killed. Now the break bar is there. Look at that quick cleave on there, and they actually won't probably get this in short order, like under 3:45 seconds. Let's see if they can get it done.
Black Emperor actually did not instantly break the Berserker there. I think so. They're running a Mirage, Scourge, Vibrant. So 3 of their classes are conditioned, maybe 4. That Renegade damage is really high if it were with power. So I think they're running 4 condition damage classes. So the idea behind breaking the bar a little bit later is to let the conditions ramp up a little bit more before activating the Exposed, which gives a 100% damage increase to the conditions that are on the boss. So Black Emperor optimizes for that there a little bit, and Mystic Waffles is about to finish. The Weaver actually swaps again to Scepter here, which seems like a bit of a strange choice to me, considering that it's easy to land damage on these these bosses with daggers. For Crockies, the judge's intervention skip for this was allowed because you're not actually going, and you're not actually like in any part of the map that you're not supposed to be. There's obviously the really Omega skip for Molten Boss where you break and skip the entire fractal, but that's not allowed. We're closing in on the end.
So any admin here, make sure to tell Stuck with Lars and Blizzard Ravens to get ready. Their teams will go up in the next 20-ish minutes. All right, and they are actually off here. Black Emperor, nice. Mystic Waffles, round 2 for them here.
So on this first part, you actually have these bristlebacks at the beginning on the left and these smoke skulls on the right. You might recognize them as ranger pets. Interestingly enough, the ranger on Black Emperor is merged with these bristlebacks. So he's using a juvenile bristleback to kill the big bristlebacks here. These bristlebacks, they shoot a projectile at you that will pretty much kill you if you don't reflect it or destroy it or something. I think what happened there was the hybrid soul beast used Axe 5 to reflect the projectiles back into the bristleback with Sikkim on the boss, so that's a lot of damage coming in. And Mr. Waffles also managed to cleave down the ad quite quickly. But it looks like Black Emperor had a little bit more damage on the Stonehead, the dinosaur, and they are ahead of Mystic Waffles here by a bit. Going into the skeleton room. We haven't actually seen this fractal, so
I mean, again, it's finally in play here, which we haven't seen too much of as
this pre-event could be optimized so much with good pools. But I don't think either of these teams have really strong pools here. No. Oh, and the hollow here overheats, unfortunately.
Ooh, and Black Emperor is gonna go down. Are they gonna be able to go up? No, they actually die full dead here. It's gonna be unfortunate, but they do manage to clear it, so they are going to be okay here.
One player dying is okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. Seems okay. Mystic Waffles is still quite a bit behind. I want so much time from. I think they had a really inefficient pre-event on this boss. Okay, the rallies come in. That's very nice. Actually, going downstate there helped reset all the heat for the hollow, so he manages to get a little bit more value out of his forge. Which is nice. Here we go. Black Emperor in the maze room.
Yeah, and here we go. And Black Emperor is already ahead here, so they are at least getting a head start with the treasure. See if they make any mess ups though, they need to be careful though, because sometimes you can get a little nervous, but
yes,
they are.
I think here we can see the value of the engineer. He has the holographic, the hollow leap trade, the super speed, configuration Zephyr in the hollow line, which makes his hollow leap behind the pad that gives super speed to his teammates. So it turns out here, these treasures slow you by a lot, right? But if you have super speed, you actually can move quite fast with those treasures. You can zoom with them. So I think what we're going to see here is the hollow is going to step in front of his teammates and give them the pad to step on to give them super speed, and that'll help them a lot. On the Black Emperor side, the Ranger had access to super speed with quickening Zephyr Ranger, and he ran the treasures in quite quickly with that.
Fortunately for Mystic Waffles, Black Emperor is already out and into the ship now, so they should be able to start the pre-run before the bosses here.
Yep, and you can see on the minimap from Black Emperor, they have a player already ready to get the next treasure, and the soul beast actually goes to help collect them. They actually stagger very cleanly here at the max range of the throws. So each player is going to throw the treasure at the maximum range. They use 2 dodges and throw. So very nicely done there. And he's gonna dodge and throw. Very clean.
And there you see they already are starting at the first boss of this fight. And yeah, already ahead here at this point. So it does come down to this. And I think should there be no wipes, they are good to go. They actually have to take a wipe for them to probably fall behind, and Mystic Waffles maybe comes back with a comeback here, as they're taking too long. And I don't think, like you said, maybe they don't seem to maybe know the exact maximum range here. I could be wrong here, but I think Black Emperor had much better usage of throwing the chest.
Sure.
They are starting the pre-event now, and there you go. The other chest is being brought into play here. But over on Black Emperor side, they're already fighting the bosses, so not much to it for them.
So there's 3 bosses on this part of the fractal. There's the I don't remember their names. I know the very last one is Arabella Crow. This one looks like it's first mate Calyx. Yeah, and he has this. So each of the first 2 bosses actually teaches you a mechanic for the last boss. So you see the winds that push you on that boss there. On the first one, you saw the probably the sharp mechanic with the green circle. So the last boss of this fractal actually has quite a few interesting mechanics, and if you fail them, which you may have seen in pugs, it can be very devastating. So the green circle, if you don't have your friends with it to share the shark damage, you get instantly downed or you lose your Mistlock. And then the red circles will drop like a Flux Bomb like thing on your teammates, which you want to avoid. And you also want to avoid getting pushed off the edge, because if you get pushed into the water, the game applies conditions to you for every second you spend outside of the blue area, and you just get attacked by all the mobs, and it's very easy to die out there. So Mystic Waffles finally starting on first mate Calyx here, but you can see Black Emperor is already fighting Arabella Crow, so they are entire split phase ahead.
Yeah, by a huge margin actually. So they should be okay as long as none of them die to any of this. There's a few things I guess you could mess up here, which is, you know, being pulled by the gust of wind here, and of course does slow down DPS. And, you know, just maybe...
Black Emperor is playing so safe. Oh, as you say it, the Sobius gets knocked off the boat, but he's fine.
Yeah.
They're playing so safe. You know, they know that all they need to do is do a clean execution on the last boss, and it'll die.
They do take the win with 6:35, and it's going to be a whole other minute, to be honest, for Mystic Waffles. Minute and a half, actually. Probably seems to be the closer range. Are they actually on the
Mystic Waffles didn't count.
Oh, so they even cleared the second boss? They cleared first mate.
They did, yeah. They're after this event, they'll be doing the final boss. Yeah. Oh, so it looks like actually a strategy that you see often in statics.
Oh, and they wiped.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean that is GG for them. They have wiped. Mystic Waffles will take the loss here as we prepare for the next team. Destiny, the rank, and DIGGIN in the mists. But for Mystic Waffle, this is actually going to be the end for them in the tournament. But again, fair play to them. Black Emperor does take the win, advances to the next part of the bracket. In the lower side here, we're actually going to see Destiny and DIGGIN in the mist. Who are they going to go up against now? Let's see. Which fractal are they getting? Let's cast the wheel and see.
Sorry, the channel prediction.
Aether Blade. Ooh.
Okay.
I think we'll do it because we've seen it's been a while.
Yeah.
So
we also, as I was saying for the canon event there, I think both teams there had their Alacran just walk around and give alacrity to all of the players in the cannons, which lets the cannons shoot their cannons much faster, which is probably the fastest way to speed up that event, because the cannons do much more damage than you could as with your own skills. So being able to shoot the cannon skills more quickly is probably the fastest way to clear that event. Which means that everyone has to practice their cannon aim in order to take advantage of that. So the cannon has 3 skills, right? The 1 skill shoots the auto attack of the cannon. The 2 is a really big AoE that does a lot of damage to things that are close. And the 3 skill freezes the adds in place. So you typically will shoot the big freezing projectile far and then land a bunch of your auto attacks to kill groups of mobs at once. And if you're actually clean with it, you can prevent the mobs from getting even close enough to use your 2 skill. But if they do get close, you can clear almost all the adds that are close with the Cannon Barrage 2 skill. Pretty good. It looks like we're going to go to Aether Blade for these 2 teams, Destiny and Digging in the Mists. Let's see what the predictions say here. Oh, this is quite even, actually. 58 to 42.
Ooh. I do think like if we do more consistent tournaments, like even if they're not as big as this one, like it could be much more manageable and, you know, more content. Just actually about 10 seconds left, by the way, for this match. Start.
Sure, it would also encourage a lot of people to play fractals. Like they'll be off in just a moment here. We'll see if my initial predictions on their strategies will be correct. So Destiny actually sends their Renegade with stealth and the Shiro Impossible Odds to power through the swim very quickly. He's going to port his team, probably. And let's see if he can get a nice pull off. He swaps to Malix, gets a quick focus pull. Oh, a very nice Malix pull there, actually. Gets all the outs. But, man, Digging the Mist is just so fast.
Yeah, that
They instantly.
look at the port. The portal is ready and it comes through, and already at the consoles now. Destiny not too far behind, but they have to rely on. Actually, they might actually be able to get it. There's a bit of a time issue here with this small delay, but it looks like Diggin is gonna have to. Oh, they're actually gonna have to reset.
Oh.
They finally get through, but they're actually behind now. They look like they had the lead, actually. I don't know what happened there. Let's see if they can get some good pulls, though, because Destiny is more or less ahead of the momentum at this point. I know there seems to be a bit of a delay, but I do think Destiny's actually at least 5 seconds have started the fight.
Very close. This is going to be very competitive here. So I think what happened there with Digging the Mist is they had an issue with the portal. And the Guardian didn't make it through to press his button. So someone else had to cover his button. And when he had to respawn, he spawned at the bottom of the ramp because the event wasn't fully done yet. So you have to GG again and then spawn on top of the ramp. And that caused them to start the event a little bit slower, like a little bit of confusion there.
Yep. And over here at Digging the Mists, slightly trailing behind. They could make up for it though, although they do seem to be much better in clearing the ads. So they're actually already to the gate guard event to get into the room at the end. So they managed to catch up quite nicely towards them. Look at that. They already speed through into the final guard event here before they get into the main room. This Destiny just struggling to clear the ads at a fast pace. Actually, multiple downs from their end too. It looks like they might have to reset.
They might get the rallies off here. Yeah, I think they get the rallies.
Yeah, but their Hallsmith is already dead. I mean, it's...
They have a full dead, yeah.
And they finally get through the guards here, but like again, like without that huge burst, it's gonna be more difficult for them. Because Diggin is already in the room here.
I think Destiny struggled a lot with the flux bombs there. They dropped them, I think, in pretty poor locations and took a lot of damage from them.
Yeah, look at those clears over the golems here. So they should be able to get this in under 4 minutes. And actually securing the win here. Destiny just made it towards the room on their end.
Diggin the Mist had a much cleaner gate guard phase and carried that momentum into the final boss, even though they had some issues with the consoles. Whereas the Destiny here, they actually got into the gate guard room earlier, but were unable to cleanly pull and cleave down the ads compared to Diggin the Mist, which is a little bit strange to me because their comp actually has more damage, right? The Weaver, the Soul Beast, the Hollow, those classes like kind of do more like damage in a vacuum compared to Thief, Mesmer, and Necro.
Yeah.
But Thief, Mesmer, and Necro just have so much more utility in terms of the pulls. And
yeah,
the
and it's also
AoE.
like there's a lot more you can provide your team here, and it does help here. They're actually going to wipe here towards this, and looks like they are unfortunately not going to be able to complete it. Yeah, it's a full wipe here. Wow, I just did the last part of this too. But Diggin does win round 1. We're actually going to have to roll towards the next round.
Whereas I think Destiny will have to run there. The Renegade can get there faster with Shiro Port, actually, phase traversal. But I don't really think anyone else, unless the Firebrand could technically run Judge's Intervention and port on the ads as well. So 2 1200 range ports coming in potentially. If the warrior is running Greatsword, he could GS3, GS5 as well. It's quite a bit of distance to cover. Let's see what they do here.
We see both teams okay with the... Actually, not bad with the ads here, but I see Diggin will have a bit of an advantage with that Daredevil there. See how that comes into play.
Gets them there faster.
Yeah, and then because they're choosing to do the full run here, Destiny, and they're already ported to this on their side.
Oh man, the Thief just gets up those ramps so quickly.
But look how they're like they're timing the ads as well here, so they're doing not too well. I actually kind of messed up here, hit all of them together, but they do break the seal quickly and already prepared for the next part of the phase here.
The Thief is just speed running the maze. He has to be careful though. If he gets knocked by the gust of wind, he could potentially have to redo the run. But he's probably taking stun breaks, maybe some stability as well. So he should be fine.
And they do get the final port here. It actually happens. They are at the final, well, not the final, sorry, but they are at the chest now. Where Destiny's actually making the full run together. Choosing to play a very safe thing here, but of course, over on the other side, Diggin is just speeding through this chest here, and they don't to clear this eventually to the arms. The Thief is actually coming to a very handy tool for this team right now. I'm actually surprised Destiny didn't choose to run at least something on there, and like not even a Mesmer or...
They're just running. Yeah. It's interesting here that the Diggin and the Mist, they're just cleaving down all the ads instead of trying to kill them one at a time for the hammer. Because something you can do here is have your guard just go full heal brand, right, and help you sustain through the ads, and you just kill one at a time with your DPS classes, and the hammer will, if you can get more hits with the hammer before on each group of ads. Anyway, here Destiny is here finally starting the chest seal. They're about halfway through now. They're about to use the third hit. No, the Renegade picks it up, and they're going to take quite a while here. Where you can see Diggin in the Mist, they're actually almost halfway through the final seal phase.
Yeah, and they're kind of struggling a little bit over here trying to get the clear. They actually finally do get the chest, but they have to make their way up all the way. And actually, I don't know why they didn't choose to leave the hammer. Actually, they know that they can actually leave it and will spawn up at the top for them. Did they leave? I think they did leave it, so they're okay. But over here, Diggin in the Mist already at the Arch Diviner and beginning the boss fight. They will be able to clear this. It's gonna be a long road here. Destiny's definitely too far behind now to make up any of a difference here in this fractal. Yeah.
Are they gonna get the break? Oh no, they don't get the CC, so it's the phase is 75 to take just a bit longer. So what would have happened there if they managed to break that bar? They would have phased 75 instantly. So they lose about like a second there, but it's not that bad. Oh, and something interesting here. Okay, two things. One, it was a bit unfortunate for DIGGIN in the Mist for the Archfinder to port onto them immediately. So he's farther from the bell right now, right? Which means, or from the seal. So every time that they phase the boss, they have to run farther to go to hammer the seal. So that's going to take a bit more time. And moreover, something that the Guardian can and maybe should do here is the Elite mantra is a stun break for 5 people. And every time you hammer the seal, your entire group gets stunned for about a second. So if you stun break that instantly for your team with the mantra, you can actually save, I think, 4 seconds overall. That because you have to hammer 4 times, right? So it won't matter here, but when you have 2 top tier teams competing and they're seconds away from each other, it's a difference like that might actually make the difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a 2-second difference, but like that 2 seconds does come into play, and actually they do manage to it. So yeah, even with the delay, they still clear it, whereas Destiny's still not even close to finished here with the arms. 4 minutes 28 for DIGGIN. Still nothing on Destiny, so they will have to be called here because they're far from getting close. They're just about to, I think, start. Are they? Did they even finish the arms? I think they might have, but yeah.
No, they're still on the seal, yeah.
They're still on the seal, so we're actually going to roll towards the next teams already and get Blizzard Ravens and Stuck with Lars teams ready to start. Actually got disconnected in the game. Nice. I can't even tell them to stop playing.
DIGGIN in the Mist have advanced.
Yeah.
GG to Destiny as well. Very good showing in the tournament.
Yeah, very good showing. Unfortunately, it is an elimination round, so they do get eliminated. But all hope is not lost, for there will be many more in the future in case they would like to step up again. Of course, already a good showing for them to even just be in the tournament. I mean, that's a good thing to add to your resume. Was in tournament, you know, like good resume. Let's try to report the score here. You could close the prediction on this one.
Yep,
this match.
I'll close it. I'm actually gonna give a 5-minute prediction on this next one here. Give people a little bit more time to vote, since it's probably gonna be one of the most hyped matches in the tournament. Who will win between Stuck with Lars and Blizzard Ravens? I actually don't know who to like. If you had to ask me right now, I do not have an answer for you on.
It's gonna be interesting to see who wins.
I don't know. I actually have no idea.
And they get uncategorized. Oof. Ooh.
I think we just run with it, right?
We run with why not? I want to see one of them fall off a jumping puzzle. Why not?
Have your Scrapper give quickness and have your Guardian go DH. You can actually burst a lot harder compared to having like a Firebrand, right? And a Soul Beast. Even though Soul Beast is insane, right? But you end up having basically the equivalent of 2 DPS power classes versus like a Firebrand. But we'll see what these teams end up doing. And we're off, it looks like.
Yep.
The Mesmer is running the event for Stuck with Lars. He has the traded mass invis, so he actually gets the stealth through this entire thing. I believe he's going to White Mantle portal his teammates up to the top. And you'll see here, he's going to GG. He's going to wait for all of his teammates to take the portal. And I think someone else is going to port him up. Yeah, exactly. So his portal gets despawned as soon as he respawns, but someone else ports him up right after his portal.
It's actually very quick gameplay here.
Yeah.
Teams quickly, like, almost instantly make sure to get like both bosses like on top of each other and immediately start to leave. Like there's no downtime even in the champ phase. Like they just immediately go.
Yep. And I actually forgot the Mesmer can give quickness for Stuck with Lars. So they are probably running a full DPS Firebrand here, which does so much cleave
it probably competes with the Scourge in terms of cleave. Yeah, because you can see on the Blizzard Ravens, the Firebrand is their quickness source, right? And he is very close to the Scourge in terms of DPS. So a full DPS Firebrand without the quickness traits or anything can probably do very similar damage to a Scourge there. And that Scourge is abusing Epi to the maximum, right? So both teams gain the skip pin. They port directly onto Ultom. Blizzard Raven starts Ultom at 1:14. Stuck with Lars starts it at 1:24. Wow, Stuck with Lars is 10 seconds behind somehow. I'm not sure how that happened. The Ravens are just so fast.
Yeah, they
get the break.
Get the break, and it's the final break bar here. See if one of them like already like leaves out, so they could start the next phase immediately, and does the skip. Get the final thing here. Wow, they about like almost 10 seconds. They're more like 8 seconds away. They get it killed and they are ready to advance. So I don't know how they actually made, and they get the skip almost immediately, and they are now starting the next fight. And look at that, they are.
Oh wow, the Ravens ported right onto the golems instead. So I think Stuck with Lars GG'd and spawned at the spot that you start whenever you get the skip. But Blizzard Ravens, I don't think they GG'd. They just ported right onto the bosses. Yeah, no one even has. I think they got the Mistlock from. I don't know which Mistlock they have, but they are just so far. Look at that. They walk the golem over. This is so good. You know, I mean, Stuck with Lars is not slacking. They are popping off too. It's just Blizzard Ravens is popping off a little bit harder. Look at that. Blizzard Ravens finishes at 2:30.
10 seconds.
Stuck with Lars, this is at 2:42. Yeah, between 9 and 10 second difference. Yeah, that's two top tier teams for you. So okay, Blizzard Ravens 1-0. It doesn't matter how much DPS you can do. If you can group the ads together, you're gonna amplify your group's DPS by so much that even if you're doing half DPS of a different class, you're going to be providing more utility to your team. And we're off. So 2 portals coming down. The guard is doing a skip. It looks like the thief is also making some kind of a run. I'm not sure what this is about.
Interesting. But actually you already get them towards the skip, and look at that, they're already at the champ here at just under 30 seconds. He continues to run through here and gets the port ready. Already places it down. And they are there.
Oh, the Ravens do. Yeah, the Ravens port directly onto this champion. They actually send their thief, I think, over the bridge before the bridge even rises. So they can, wait. They don't have to wait for that. It looks like, okay, there's a bit of a delay on the streams, so we'll see here when the champion dies. Oh, and something useful to note here, you see how both teams are stacking towards the next area? Because this champion actually will charge at you. And if you make him charge towards the next area, you'll be closer to where you need to be after he dies. Oh, and both teams GG immediately after the champion dies to get out of combat, and they stealth instantly. So on the NG side, the NG swaps a scrapper. So they actually GG and swaps. He GG, swaps templates, and respawns and gives stealth all in the matter of like 2 seconds. It's really impressive.
Yeah.
And then...
Look at that, the thief already preparing for the final. I don't know why they choose to play the Choya and the Axe. They're so easy to click, and they can get themselves disqualified for that. But look at that.
Yeah.
Thief actually goes down here. Ooh, it's gonna be... No, the team's gonna be fine to clear it. Yeah, the team's there. A little bit slow there on the engage, but they managed to get the boss.
Oh, there's a multiple downstates on Stuck with Lars. That's really not good for them. Yeah. But maybe they're still fine. That's gonna slow down their last room.
Yep.
Yeah, the thief is short profiling over, and yep. Oh, so the thief there procs the event, which as soon as you cross that tripwire, your whole team gets teleported into the thing and starts the event. And they actually start the boss a little bit faster. So Stuck with Lars is getting the second shockwave at 210. Blizzard Ravens, let's see. The bosses are spawning. The first shockwave is spawning at 205, and the second one spawns at 208. So the Blizzard Ravens are ahead by 2 seconds. We'll see if they can carry that.
Yeah, they have to. It's gonna be very, very close on this here.
Yeah. I do think though that Stuck with Lars might have a little more DPS. Okay, so they actually GG here and port back in, so that resets their cooldowns. I think Stuck with Lars can make up the difference actually with the Soul Beast, because the Soul Beast gets to use Wolfpack twice here, and one Wolfpack into the Expose is a huge damage increase. So
you see the
we'll
Blizzard
see
Ravens now. They come up their GG at 2:45 seconds. They will be entering the place again, and there you go. Actually, looks like should be timer for Stuck with Lars at 3:06. See how far that comes into play with Blizzard Ravens.
Yeah, yep. They're gonna burst this boss down. Oh, but I think Blizzard Ravens are gonna take longer than that.
Yeah.
You know. Yes, so the DPS difference, right? The one Wolfpack just it made up for the 2 seconds.
Ooh, and it is
so
1-1, and both of them have had such close calls here. So they tie it up and they head towards the third fractal, which is actually going to be a CM.
We got the meme on the on Skinny stream. Primarily practicing CMs because you can optimize so much, and not practicing CMs just playing T4s. That's very good.
Well, there's quite a delay here, so it's going to be again very difficult to keep up a little bit, but not too bad. I think this one only has a 10-second delay between the other stream.
Yep.
So we actually get to see both Revenants come into play here. See how they take it, and again, it's going to be the transition that they can try and get this done quickly to get into the second boss, which takes the longest compared to all the other bosses we've seen in this fractal. And you know, just trying to get that phase quickly done. As you see, the islands here is coming into play here, and Stuck with Lars, I think, slightly ahead here with the way that they're playing. I think once they get back to the boss, we'll actually see what time they get back to the boss. Interesting cleaves as well. You can see like they managed to quickly get all the odds, and they teleport at 52 seconds. So keep that in. No, 52 seconds is what it takes for them to finish up. It looks like they are going to be slightly edging out this first fight here against Blizzard Ravens, who's taking quite a bit longer actually to get this boss down, this phase down to go back to the boss. Teleport at 1 minute.
Back at 59. Yeah, 1 minute. So about 8 seconds behind, but. I mean, you can see on the DPS meter, right? The thief is not even doing as much damage as the renegade here, which suggests that the Ravens are running the thief to optimize the in-between parts of the fractal as opposed to the actual damage in the fractal. Yeah, but Stuck with Lars here has already finished the first boss. They had some very nice portals between the platforms. You're gonna see the same thing coming from the Ravens. They actually get knocked on the third platform. That third ad is so annoying. He just pushes you around.
And unfortunately, they are going to be quite some time behind now because of that. Actually, too much of it is a lot of difference here between them. They have to make up so much. They kill it at 150. No, actually, not yet. Should be able to do it now. Yeah, and it's too far behind for them because they're already doing the pre-event here on. Stuck with Lars side.
Looks like there's something the Condi for Art Survive on the Raven side, but the thief here is where you'd probably see the thief pop off. He gets to do this, get the team to the next event more quickly. But the Stuck with Lars team actually had. Oh no, you can see the blast coming in. Oh, they're actually not doing the skip. Okay, interesting. So the Stuck with Lars team is what are they doing here? Oh, they had the Weaver actually probably take Lightning Flash and use the Dagger 4 in air to power through the pre-event area and get to and trigger the next event more quickly.
As you can see,
those Ravens is so far behind.
Yeah, they are far behind. 3 minutes for them here to start with the next boss, whereas Blizzard Ravens just now getting into the second portion of the island here to finish the pre-event. So they will probably meet up at the same boss, but at like around 340 seconds. Most likely, they are getting the port here.
Lars does this, the Soul Beast side phase strategy, where the Soul Beast reflects the toss shot back into Arts. I don't think they even bothered CCing there, to be honest.
Oh, and they're so far behind now. Yeah, about 340 seconds is what I'm calling it, and they are gonna make it there, but might not be enough because you have to rely on a team making a mistake here to really get ahead here. And of course, with teams such as this level of competition, it's most likely not to happen, right? It's just really maybe slow phases here and there, but like a huge wipe, that is really what you need from another team to really catch up.
Wipe. Oh, I don't think. Yes, the Ravens. Okay, yeah. So what happened there was their Soul Beast actually had the GG. So what happened? No one has Mistlock, right? Because they didn't have time to get the Mistlock. So these teams are skipping the anomaly in the middle. They're not bothering to kill it, and they are just hoping to phase the boss at the side before the bomb explodes. And they had to do that because they have no Mistlock, right? They cannot tank an explosion. So the Soul Beast had the bomb, and they didn't break the boss at all. So they weren't able to phase her quickly enough, and the Soul Beast had to GG so that the bomb didn't explode and kill his whole team, which actually is going to slow down the split, right? Because that's one fewer person to CC the ads. There was 5 ads to CC. So
This kid actually
was unfortunate.
Oh no, they actually wipe here to it. They actually wipe over here, and they have to start over.
Full wipe the Hardstuck. Oh dear.
That is not good.
Yeah.
They are losing this round by a large margin here. What thought would be a close round, like you said, Stuck with Lars shines in the CMs, and they are shining right now. As they see, they are more likely going to finish cleaving out Arc over here. They are just about 50% now, so enabling the next phase of this fight. But yeah, I did not expect this.
Curious if the Renegade is.
And don't forget, the next
well.
T4 is a match point, by the way, because if Stuck with Lars wins the next T4 match, they do win this round, this entire match, and advance. So kind of a little pressure on Blizzard Ravens. They now have to play catch up, which when they were already ahead by a point and tied up in the second round, now they have to play catch up, and they need to win the next T4. It's too late for them to win this round because they need to win the next one to actually stay in the game and trigger a 5th round, which is a CM again. But as we've seen, they are not doing too well here.
You can see the Renegade there, actually. He had the Doom mechanic on the last phase, and he had to... he also got feared. So he got feared out of the bubble, and he potentially could have wiped his team. But he managed to stun break the fear with his special action key. They were fine. Oh, a little downstate happening here on the Ravens, but they managed to res before the laser, so they're all good. Yeah, I think we'll have to call this off and roll the next map, since the Ravens haven't even started Arc yet.
Yeah, they win. I mean, they just started. I mean, there's another full 2 minutes. I mean, they're choosing to start it anyway. We will roll. I mean, I actually have mentioned like Lars has won round 3 in the guild now, so they should be able to see it, but they're gonna just choose to continue it, I guess. And we roll the next fight, which is actually a T4.
Very similar comps here, by the way. Only difference is the Soul Beast versus the Hollow again. Here we go. Only a 3-second difference between the two delays this time. Actually, 2 seconds, so much closer.
Yeah, not bad.
We had this. Yeah.
He's very fast over there with Stuck with Lars already getting to the event here. Grabs this Mistlock and drops the portal, waiting for the drop here. And does get through, and they are now already clearing here. Getting ready at this point. Blizzard Ravens, I believe, gets the portal up here and should be able to clear this immediately as well. Yes, they do. They actually get there as well. Grab the Mistlock and ready. But I think they are behind by 2 seconds.
Yeah. They both do the prevents so quickly.
But again, there you saw the thief on Stuck with Lars had to AFK for close to 10 seconds, so he probably had a little bit of time where he could have helped his team. But I mean, it's also possible that him getting in combat would take longer for him to get out of combat, would make him slower on the run. Like both teams are rapidly throwing the molten rocks at the shaman. Stuck with Lars is actually running up to the boss. They're not even waiting.
Yeah, no, they're rushing already.
They break it at 126. Let's see, the Ravens will let the boss come down. They break it at 128. A little bit behind on the damage, but whoops, the hollow. Oh, the Soul Beast is running a Condi here or something. So okay, 140 is the cutscene for Stuck with Lars. They have a port directly onto the boss. Oh, but that's gonna be a little bit of a slowdown. They're definitely gonna have to GG and reset here.
Yeah.
Okay, if the Ravens port directly onto the boss without any like slowdowns, they could make up this time because running from the Mistlock to the boss takes a while.
They just got it done here, so.
Oh, they port directly on. Okay.
Yeah, they're not even wasting time.
Ravens make up time. Yeah. So the Stuck with Lars got a precast there because of the Mistlock, but the Ravens got to start the boss like immediately. So maybe they'll go. Oh, no, I don't think it's enough because the Ravens started when the boss is at 100. It was at 50 for Stuck with Lars.
Yeah, and look at that. They are actually almost done here with the boss. I mean, just under 20% or at this point remaining. They are probably going to get it, so they will clear this in just about 246, I would say.
Yeah,
245 actually, so
immediately rallies you. Yep. The Ravens are going to be a little bit behind them.
Yeah, but this does mean that they do lose. They aren't able to rally off this game, so there you go. They managed to take a little too long actually to clear it. Couple down as well. They managed to get it down. They do get the revive, but a little too far behind now. Actually, a huge difference. Not even a close game.
This last boss is kind of vicious. If you break it at like bad times, and you don't have like any Kakandis on there, or you're not about to do a burst, then you end up falling quite behind on the DPS checks. And you might end up having an extra shield phase, and those shield phases waste a lot of time. So, yeah, it looks like those Ravens got a little bit behind there, and they lose by about 45 seconds, 43 seconds exactly.
Very slow, actually. Oof. Lost too much over there, but it doesn't change the story here because Stuck with Lars will advance now because of this.